now available in paperback and ebook. The Man Who Rules the World. John Haynes must bring together men and gods to overcome a threat that seeks to destroy the planet. The Man Who Rules the World. Now available in paperback and e-readers everywhere. This weekend, these pro-black, back-to-Africa, red, black, and green Negroes and these Hotep Negroes were overjoyed at the sight of their hero, the Black Panther, being presented on the screens in a teaser trailer online and in movie theaters. And according to them, this pretty much is an acknowledgement of their hero getting an opportunity to be on screen. However, in their enthusiasm and their excitement for this Black Panther movie, they pretty much show us how dysfunctional they truly are. Now, according to these red, black, and green Negroes, we all should get behind this Black Panther movie because it features a black superhero. However, what these pro-black, back-to-Africa, red, black, and green Negroes and these Hotep Negroes don't understand is that your Black Panther is not really a black superhero. Your Black Panther was pretty much created by two Jewish guys, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And the Black Panther is a white man's interpretation of what he sees as a black superhero. So technically, he is not a black superhero. He is a white person's idea of what a black superhero should be. An actual black superhero is someone who was created by a black creator. Someone like a character like Icon or Static, which was created by Dwayne McDuffie and Dennis Cowan. Or someone like Isis, who was created by myself, or John Haynes, who was created by myself. That is a black character because it is a black character created by a black creator. However, according to your pro-black, back to Africa, red, black, and green Negroes, in many cases, those characters aren't considered quote-unquote black enough. Why? Because they don't fit the narrative that the pro-black, back to Africa, red, black, and green Negro has, or the Hotep Negro has, related to the Afro-American Negro narrative. No, those characters that I create and many other black character creators make, those characters aren't black because they don't fit the narrative. They don't tell the story that the pro-blacks want to hear or the Hoteps want to hear. And Black Panther pretty much tells the story that the pro-black, back to Africa, red, black, and green Negroes want to hear and the Hoteps want to hear. And that story pretty much frames the narrative of black victimization, and it gives them a nice, evil white man to pretty much have the black hero beat up on. Because when I look at that Black Panther teaser trailer, I saw the white liberals' narrative for the pro-black on screen in the first couple of seconds. Once they put that evil white man, Ulysses Claw, on the screen, oh, all those Afro-American Negro pro-blacks and those Hoteps, those guys pretty much, they got an erection when they saw that evil white man. Because when they saw that evil white man, they pretty much saw the guy who they could pretty much blame all of their problems on. And they saw the guy who pretty much fits the story that they want to tell about the black dysfunction in the black community. Unfortunately, that pretty much shows us how dysfunctional these Negroes truly are because they're getting excited to go see a movie, again, featuring a black character created by a white man who presents his view of black people, and they're going to go out and spend money to go give their black dollars to a movie that features a black character that was created by a white man to a white company, and they're going to call this supporting supporting something black. And that's what's completely backwards from showing us the perspective of these Afro-American Negroes. They will sit there and support the black character created by white people, but when it comes down to black characters created by black creators, we pretty much get slapped in the face by these same Hoteps and pro-blacks who talk about how we need to support black business. It's okay to go support a Black Panther movie created by white people, but when it's time to support black creators and black publishers like myself and many other black comic book producers out there, many of these same pro-blacks will sit there and give you all sorts of excuses as to why they cannot support your material. And it is your material that is pretty much giving them the most balanced picture of African Americans and the African American experience. I mean, creators like myself, when we create stories like the ISIS series or The Temptation of John Haynes, you're getting a story straight from a black person's perspective. You're not getting something that is filtered through a white liberal's lens like this Black Panther movie is. This Black Panther movie, as I saw the teaser trailer, again, was just presenting us with a paternalistic, white supremacist view of Africa. It was not giving us an objective and balanced view. It was, and even with a black director, that is what I saw presented on that screen. I did not see anything pretty much compelling or interesting or exciting. I didn't even really see anything fresh in that movie. But your pro-blacks and your hoteps, they will pretty much herald this as something major, some tremendous accomplishment, and they'll sit there and say, we need to go spend money with these white people to watch this white person's interpretation of black people. But when a black person presents an actual vision of the black community or the black experience in fantasy or science fiction, these are the same Negroes who will say, I don't have no money, I don't want to support this, or there's something else wrong with it, or they'll construct a straw man argument like they have done with me with the ISIS series, and saying that the characters are too light skinned or they pretty much aren't the interpretation that they want. And I look at this Black Panther and I see a lot of dysfunction in this whole character, even when I was watching Captain America Civil War. Now, I remember I was watching Captain America Civil War. Your Black Panther is sitting there. He's living in Wakanda, which is supposed to be a West African country, and he's talking about Bastet and Sekhmet. He was talking about Bastet and Sekhmet. And the thing that he was talking about in that Civil War that pretty much set me off as a guy who had studied Egyptian mythology is that he talked about Bast and Sekhmet as they were two separate gods, when they are the same goddess. And when I heard that, I knew something was wrong right there. But you can't tell that to the hosteps. They're going to sit there and tell you, oh, he's talking about Bastet and Sekhmet, and that shows how aware he was, and that shows... Well, I'm sitting there going, no, Wakanda is a West African country. How could they be worshiping Egyptian gods? How could they be worshiping Bastet and Sekhmet and as separate gods when Bastet and Sekhmet are the same goddess? And that pretty much made me sit there and I just shook my head at that one scene, because he's talking about that's how the Black Panther got its origin, and that's how the warriors did things. And that pretty much was a rickety foundation right there, because I look at the Black Panther from the comics, and the Black Panther has no connection to the Egyptian gods, but they fit that in there because they wanted to try to bait many of these hoteps and these pro-blacks and get them emotional. And then when they see this Black Panther teaser trailer, they get more emotional and excited. And they go and they say, we got to go support this movie because it's a black movie. But why is it a black movie we have to support when it's white people involved? Why is it always when there's a white person involved we need to support it? But when a black person is on their own, many of these pro-blacks and these hoteps just can't be found to support black creators. And that's the big rub with me and many other black creators, is that when we create content, we don't see all this enthusiasm. We don't see all this passion from many of these people who say we need to take our money and support black businesses. We need to build our community. We need to support our own. When it's time to actually support our own, these are the same people who go out of their way to make excuses and then take their $12, $13, $14 and instead of spending it on something like an ISIS series book, go spend it on a movie ticket for a Black Panther and give their black dollars to white people. And that's one of the things that's really aggravating about this Black Panther teaser trailer, is how all these pro-blacks and these hoteps are saying that we need to go support this movie, but they will pretty much find some way to castigate and attack guys like me who go out of their way to create black content and then tell us there's something wrong with our content. When in actuality, there's nothing wrong with our content. The big problem is that our content just doesn't fit their narrative, and their narrative pretty much shows us how spellbound they are and how they are desperate to get the attention and approval of white people, and how their blackness is all about being black in the presence of white people. If you like what you see on this channel, you can support the Patreon so I can continue to make more videos. by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try the ISIS series or the Temptation of John Haynes or the East Team series and read some great African American fantasy fiction from an African American, you may do so by clicking the link to the Amazon.com in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.